Hello and welcome to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Von Arx, here with my co-host, Kerry Egler. And in today's episode, we are talking about probably the hottest social media channel right now. If you guessed TikTok, you would be correct. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how to maximize the free features for your print on demand business. We actually talk about so many other things in this episode as well. We're going to talk about the algorithm. We're going to talk about features that can enhance your brand and make you more sales. And we're even going to give you some ideas of how you can create TikToks for your t-shirt or apparel brand. But real quick, before we hop in, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast. It helps us reach new listeners and it helps you never miss an episode. Thank you so much. We are so glad you're here. And just before we hop in, here's a quick word from today's sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by Gelato, the world's largest print-on-demand network. Gelato enables individuals ranging from e-commerce entrepreneurs to artists and creatives to establish their own global business. The magic of Gelato is that they focus on local production. The item being delivered is produced in the country that the order is placed almost 90% of the time, leading to many benefits such as lower costs, faster delivery times, and most importantly, reducing carbon emissions. The focus on tech to knit together over 130 production facilities across 32 countries is truly unique. Thanks to this, they currently have the highest customer satisfaction score in the print-on-demand industry on Trustpilot. To check them out for yourself, go to sixfigurefounder.com/gelato and use the discount code PODPlaybook, all capital letters, to get 60% off your first order when placed within 72 hours. That's the number 6figurefounder.com/GELATO. You can also find the link and discount code in the podcast show notes or in the video description on YouTube. Adrian, what's going on, man?
Kerry, I am doing well, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Good.
Good.
We're going to talk about TikTok, man.
What's that?
We're talking about TikTok. This is your jam.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait. This is my jam. I love TikTok. TikTok has changed my life. And it's how I met you, Kerry.
That is true.
It's got me sponsorship deals and it's got me a lot of customers and clients. And it's just like been so game changing for me and my business. And I know a lot of other people whose businesses it's been a game changer for as well. So I'm definitely super excited to hop in and kind of share some knowledge and some tips on this platform. But first, as usual, I wanted to shout out one of our Apple reviews. So this one is actually coming from Betsy Catanzaro. I hope I pronounced that right. And she says, I'm in the middle of starting a print-on-demand business and came across your podcast a couple of weeks ago. I've listened to every episode with eager ears. It's been encouraging and informative, and you have a subscriber for life. Woo woo.
What?
Thank you for all the tips and ideas. Hopefully, I'll get to your level one of these days. Betsy, thank you so much. And I just want to say, like, if I can do this, I say this all the time, but if I can do this, anyone can. So keep going. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your journey, and keep listening to podcasts and we'll keep bringing in the value. So thanks so much, Betsy. You are very much appreciated.
Thank you, Betsy. That was an awesome review.
That was a great one.
Appreciate it.
So this is kind of interesting. Last week, Kerry led just a fire masterclass on AI. And dude, I was taking so many notes. That was such a good masterclass, but it was kind of funny because you had like a different background for the masterclass. Why don't you kind of share that with everyone and about your experience, kind of, what do you call it? Going lean? Like,
yeah, the makeshift Zoom presentation. Yeah. So if you don't know what Adrian's talking about, we have a program called Six Figure Founder, which is a coaching program for online apparel owners, business owners. And so myself and Adrian and Adrian's brother, Carlos, we lead the program. And each week, just about every week, there's some weeks we don't have calls, but just about every week we have some kind of call. One of them is coaching, one of them is Q&A, and then one of them is a masterclass. And then we also do these quarterly hot topic training sessions. So last week, I led a quarterly training session on AI. and how you can use that with print on demand and some of the stats and different things and tools, and did some pretty deep training on it. And the feedback I got was amazing. So I appreciate you, Carlos, like letting me know that it was helpful. But man, it was, we moved our vacation. We had a vacation coming up like next week. We moved it up because we actually ended up going with my brother and his family. Like when we stayed in this big condo and our families went together, which was cool, but we went down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, which is just amazing. Like it's a hidden gem. It rivals, like, to me, it rivals any beach I've been to in Florida. Nice. It's just beautiful and very well kept, not a lot of trash, like clean beach. You know, it's an awesome town. We really like it, kind of family friendly. So we were down there like on the beach. Our condo was like on the beach. We had this huge balcony just looking over the sand and over the water, and it was awesome. And so, but I had to do this masterclass. And so I had my laptop and like a USB mic on like this little tiny, it wasn't even a desk. It was like a I don't even know what you call it, but you would put it in like an entryway. It was made out of glass. And I just had my laptop, my little microphone, one screen. I tried to use my iPad as a second screen. And then the internet didn't work in the condo, like at all. Did not work at all. I don't know if I told you this. So I had my brother and I were testing our hotspot speeds, like on our phones, like how fast are our hotspots. So my brother's getting like crazy fast hotspot speeds. So I'm like, everybody needs to be out of the house for this. I'm doing this masterclass, but Matt, my brother, can you leave your phone here so I can get internet?
I did not know that.
He left his phone in the condo and everybody left. And so I was connecting my laptop to his phone to run the Zoom meeting. And then it ended up crashing. And then I had to connect to my phone, and then my phone ended up working. I'm making this a long story, but it was very nerve-wracking. But we got it done, and we brought some good information on AI. Yes. It seemed like everybody in the Six Figure Founder Program was really fired up about it. Yeah. And there was lots of ideas flowing and all these different things. Yep. We talked about Midjourney. We talked about Canva. We talked about Vexels. I mean, all these cool tools, ChatGPT, and some of the strategies and different ways that you can use it. And man, it is really mind blowing. And so that's awesome. And
yeah, it's so good. So many time and just cost savings, like potential with AI.
Yeah. So that was really fun. And kind of to transition that, we have a 2-day live workshop coming up. And this is actually, it's called the Grow Your Brand Workshop. And it's actually open to everybody. This is not like just for our students or anything like that. It's open to everybody. It's completely free. And it's a 2-day workshop where we do lots of training. We do coaching. We do lots of Q&A. We do website reviews. And this is like, literally, this is free and open for everybody to be a part of.
Oh, I'm so excited, dude.
We did the first one a few months ago. We opened up our 6-figure founder program as well. And that's where we had, where we kind of launched this whole coaching thing. Anything you want to say about the Grow Your Brand Workshop?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of did a really good job of summarizing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the first time we're launching it publicly. So before, we only did a private launch. That means only members from Shirt School or from T-Shirt Legends Academy were invited. We have an amazing group right now, and we can't wait to just kind of bring other people into the 2-day workshop, introduce them to some new ideas, introduce them to some strategy, do some live coaching, which is always super fun. And yeah, if you go to the website, it should be available now for you to sign up for this 2-day workshop. So the dates, correct me if I'm wrong, Kerry, are June 28th and June 29th. Those are going to be the 2 days that this live workshop is happening. So if anyone is interested in attending this free 2-day workshop, we would love to meet you guys. So make sure that you go and sign up. Our landing page is open, and it would be sixfigurefounder.com/grow.
Grow.
That's it. Yes. Okay. 6figurefounder.com/grow. So if you are interested, head over there, sign up. And if so, we'll see you guys on June 28th and 29th. We promise it's going to be a ton of fun, and we can't wait to meet you.
Yeah. And just so everybody listening is clear on who it's for. We want to make sure that, you know who it's for. This is for apparel brand owners that you have an online, like you have an active store. So I want to be clear on that. We really want to invite people that are actively attempting to make sales. You're making sales, like your business is moving in the right direction. Like that's who we're looking for, is just to have an active and open business. This is not for beginners. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. This is not like how to set up a Shopify store or how to choose a print on demand. And that's amazing. We have some amazing events and trainings for those of you guys that are more in the beginner phase. But if you have an open and active store, we want to invite you to this. It's going to be huge help for you. We talk about mindset. We talk about creating a movement. We talk about marketing strategies that are working right now, much like we do on this podcast. And then those coaching opportunities are probably the most impactful thing that we do on the 2-day workshop.
Those are super fun.
Yeah. So the number 6, figurefounder.com/grow. And you can also find that link down in the show notes or in the video description on YouTube. And this is completely free. So no reason not to sign up if this is a good fit for you. So let's move on.
Cool. Well, why don't we transition into the main event for this episode? I'm super excited. I'm a huge fan of TikTok, in case anyone doesn't know. And I just want to kind of share a little bit about kind of TikTok really, really briefly. And then Kerry has some fun stats that he's going to share with you guys. And you might actually be blown away by some of these. So I just want to say, TikTok personally is my primary acquisition platform for my coaching business and the primary acquisition platform for countless print-on-demand businesses. So for anyone who isn't familiar with TikTok, I'd be surprised if you aren't, but just in case, it is a social media platform that focuses on short-form vertical videos and was the most downloaded app in 2021 and 2022. That is wild. So in this episode, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about breaking down the features. It's going to be similar to the free ways to market your business on Instagram. We want to do kind of a similar format, just different social media platform. So we're going to be breaking down the features, explaining what each is, and then ways you can leverage these features for your business. So Kerry, why don't you hit everyone with some of these fun stats? And I'm excited to hear them.
Yeah, these stats are pretty insane. These, like, TikTok has figured out how to get people hooked and addicted to staying on their platform.
It's like a drug, man.
And yeah, it's a little scary. But also, I know you're going to talk about the algorithm, and I would venture to say, before I get into the stats, this is probably the most, I don't know if advanced is the right word, but maybe the most advanced algorithm on social media. Yeah. Like, it's so good at feeding you the things you're interested in and want to see. And it's a little scary, like I said, but it's really good. It gets people addicted, and you can crush it. I mean, you can sell so much on TikTok. There's so many brands crushing it on TikTok because it's a place where you can go and get attention a little bit easier than some of the other platforms. Yeah. And although, as TikTok advances and more people get on the platform, maybe that algorithm, it's a little harder to go as viral than maybe it was a year ago. It's really good. It's really good at pushing content out there, getting eyeballs. So, anyways, let's go into the stats. So number 1, TikTok is by far the fastest growing social media platform in the world with well over 1 billion users.
Dude, that's insane. What's the world population? Like 7 billion people or something?
Something like that.
Something like that. Crazy. Like if that is a world population, so that would mean 1 in 7 people are on TikTok, dude. That's nuts.
Yeah. I think it's not the biggest social media platform. I think that's still Facebook because it's been around for so long. I think Facebook's at like 2.5 or 3 billion or something like that, which is insane. But when you start to look at the usage stats on TikTok, I mean, like, it's going to blow Facebook out of the water, because even though Facebook has that many users, we know many of those users have been on the platform for 15 plus years. They're probably not even using it. They may be actually using TikTok. They just have a Facebook account. So 1 billion users for a social media platform that's been out for like 2 years or something, or maybe 3, like, that is insanity. Yeah,
it grew a lot faster than a platform like Instagram got to 1 billion users. Yeah. So Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
I just checked the world population, almost 8 billion,
Yeah.
between 7 and 8 billion people, it looks like. That's wild.
It's wild. In just a couple of years,
Yeah.
it's insane. Okay, for a long time, I had a stereotype for being an app for teenagers who watched other teenagers dancing and lip syncing, but the demographic and the content has quickly evolved. There are now more people over the age of 30 using TikTok every month than there are under the age of 18. So there are more people over 30 than there are under the age of 18. This
The
next one,
demographic is getting older.
Yeah.
Like the average demographic is getting older on TikTok.
I was going to mention this next one kind of off the top of my head, but it's right here in a better format. According to a report from Social Insider, users between the ages of 25 and 34 make up TikTok's largest user demographic, which is around 20%, while over 15%, while the second largest demographic is users between the ages of 35 and 43. So 15% for 35 to 43, 20% for 25 to 34.
Right.
That is insane. 35% of users on the platform are between 25 and 43.
That's a ton. And
So-
of a billion users.
Yeah. And so if you're not like in the marketing world, that is considered 25 to 43 is considered like the most valuable market. That's who everybody wants to target. That's who you want to get in front of.
Yeah.
The majority of users are female, around 56%, while over 43% of users are male. So that's not heavily weighted female. I mean, that's definitely more female than male, but
it's not like Pinterest, for example, which I'm sure Pinterest is much more heavily female.
I mean, I know Etsy's not a social media platform, but if you sell on Etsy, I think it's 93% female.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like if you don't sell female products on Etsy, it's going to be a hard road. Okay, here's where things get interesting. According to the Social Insider report, 9 out of 10 TikTok users open the app several times per day, meaning 90% of users open the app on a daily basis, and overall, more users prefer watching videos and interacting with shared content instead of uploading content themselves. This is obviously very advantageous for brands and content creators. So what this means is there is an imbalance. There's an imbalance of people. There's way more people consuming content than there is creating content.
Yep.
And so this is where the opportunity is for you as a online business owner. If you can step into the TikTok content creation world, there are enough eyeballs there to support that, more than enough.
Yeah, and it's fundamentally different than a platform like Instagram, for example, because Instagram, most people actually post to their own Instagram. So you've got so much content hitting the platform all the time. But here it's like way less competition because such a giant chunk of users have literally never posted a TikTok.
Yep.
And so if you are a content creator and you're pumping out content, you don't have as much competition.
And I think that's partly because TikTok is video only. And obviously there's a huge portion of the population that kind of has maybe a phobia of putting out videos. You're more likely to put out a picture where you can make yourself look nice, than put out video. So I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I would call it, it's funny because it came out like as this short form video platform, but it's almost, I would almost call it now like a video first platform because they actually rolled out carousels not too long ago where you can just do a number of still images. And there's even a lot of people posting still images. Like you could technically post a still image and have like a 5-second music or trending audio or something like that. Wow. One of the ways that a lot of people are using still images is with the CapCut templates. And I know we talked about this in a recent episode. They're so freaking funny. But a lot of times what people will do is they'll just post a still shot image, something relevant to what they're making their content about, and then they'll overlay the CapCut template. So there might be Michael Scott from The Office in the corner, like holding up a ghetto blaster, or Pedro Pascal eating a sandwich, and it's just a background still image. So there's actually more ways, like it's getting more diverse, I guess you could call it, even though it's still very much a video first platform.
Okay, let's keep it rolling. Top users spend 52 minutes per day on the platform. And according to TechCrunch, young users spend far more time on TikTok than any other video platform, including YouTube.
That's
Wild.
pretty crazy.
52
That's
minutes
pretty
per
crazy.
day.
Yeah.
Some
That's that is a lot of content being consumed. That's almost an hour a day.
Hey, go outside and play some sports. Okay. Get off your phone. Stay on your phone though for us to sell to you. Okay. I'm a little conflicted. According to Social Insider's according to Social Insider, Reels versus TikTok benchmark studies, the average engagement on TikTok is 6 times higher than Instagram Reels. Oh my Lord.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And I don't know, I'm curious to know why that is. I don't actually know why so many more people interact with TikToks than they do Instagram Reels. Yeah.
My only guess would be because which you just said they're doing some stuff with still images, but because it's video only for the most part, it's, I don't know, maybe the video.
I mean, Reels are mainly video only too. That's the thing.
I know, but you still got other things in the app that can pull attention away from the Reels part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I feel like when I'm watching Reels, I don't even think to engage, to be honest. I'm just scroll, and just keep watching Reels. And I never think to like or comment like I do if I'm reading a post on Instagram where someone just posts like a still image with a caption, something like that.
But do you think when they say the average engagement on TikTok, they're talking about likes and comments, or they're talking about video, like view time, watch time? Because to me, that's part of the engagement, but I don't know if
that's a really good point. I assumed that it was like people commenting, engaging with a post, commenting on the post.
What I would say is TikTok does a really good job when you're watching TikToks. Like the hearts are like going on your screen, like you're seeing people that liked it, and then the comments pop up at the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? The comments pop up and they're like, oh, so and so said this, and so said this. And what it does is it almost makes me think of like, webinars and different things. It makes it feel like people are interacting right now, even though those comments are maybe old, So I think that's probably part of the reason that people go to engage, but just a guess. All right. Last one I got here. TikTok has its own ads platform similar to Facebook ads and claims that 1 in 3 TikTok users bought a product because they saw it on TikTok. This one is particularly interesting. I know that the stats I've seen show that Facebook ads is by far still the most profitable platform for paid advertising.
That's what I heard too.
I know that there is still, again, an imbalance of consumers and advertisers on TikTok. Like there are far less advertisers than there are consumers, and a lot of brands need to get into the paid ads side of TikTok. And there's a lot of money to be made and a lot of attention to get very, very inexpensively, very cheap clicks, cheap engagement there on the ads that you can take advantage of with TikTok ads.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some of those. So there's some exciting stuff, like they just rolled out TikTok Shop, which we'll talk about. But also TikTok, I just feel like right now you can still kind of take advantage of that first mover's advantage.
Yeah.
So many large brands have been very slow to adopt TikTok. Some aren't even on there still. And so this has created a huge opportunity for smaller brands to get more exposure. And if you're running paid ads, as far as I know, TikTok ads are an auction system just like Facebook ads. So if you are running paid ads, you're not going to have those, what do you call them? Like whale brands, like the Home Depots of the world. Maybe they're on there, but some really big brands that are just dropping so much money onto the ads platform. A lot of those aren't even on TikTok yet. They're not running paid ads yet. So that's going to make it cheaper in theory for a lot of other brands. So big opportunity there. So why don't I just want to, before we jump into sort of the features breakdown, explaining what they are and leveraging how you can use them for your business, I just want to talk about the algorithm for another minute, because this is actually really, really important. And this is one of the biggest differentiators with TikTok. And if you understand the algorithm, if you study it, it can really help you create content that resonates with people, and it can be a total game changer for your business. So unlike platforms like Facebook and Instagram, what you need to know about TikTok is it is a content-based algorithm. This is very different. And I just want to explain these really quickly. So a content-based algorithm is all about the content, what you're engaging with, what you're watching, how long you're watching for, what other people are also watching those videos, what other videos do they like. Everything is driven by the content. This makes TikTok extremely addictive, in case anyone hasn't heard, because it's very good at constantly feeding you content that resonates with you. And this can be very advantageous to a brand, especially if you've niched down, because if people are interested in that niche and they're consuming content around that niche, that's going to create an opportunity to get your niche specific brand in front of them. And while TikTok definitely does have a social component, for example, you follow people, you can like, you can comment, you can share, you can DM people, but other social media platforms like Instagram weight the social component a lot more heavy than TikTok. Instagram, for example, they care a lot about the who. Who are you interacting with? Who do you follow? Who do you engage with? Whereas TikTok, on the other hand, cares a lot about the what. What are you watching? What are you engaging with? What posts keep you on the platform for the longest? Because really that's the goal of every platform, to keep users on there as long as possible. And what's great about this for small business owners is that TikTok creates a much more level playing field, since the algorithm cares more about the content than anything else. So whether you have 100 or 100,000 followers, you have a pretty equal chance of going viral on the platform. And you hear it all the time. You always hear about these brands, these kind of overnight success stories where they went viral on TikTok. They went from like 5 to 50,000 followers over a short period of time. And that's because of the algorithm. So, you see small brands going viral, and that can really translate into total skyrocketing of sales. I've had friends who posted TikToks that went viral for their brand, and man, they woke up in the morning to just a ton of sales because they went viral and a bunch of people bought their products. So it can happen. And that's why I recommend that most brands get on TikTok.
Dude,
So that's all I'm going to say about the algorithm. Did you have any thoughts on that, Kerry?
No, I mean, to just echo that, it leveled the playing field. That's interesting for everybody to know, or that's important for everybody to know, because if you don't have a following, or you do have a following, there's not a ton of difference there. Now, I don't want to understate that having a lot of followers, that definitely can matter. It can bring you more views, but as far as like the TikTok algorithm, it's not going to favor a piece of content because it has a lot of that account has a lot of subscribers.
Right.
There is a feed in TikTok where you can view the people you subscribe to, but I think it's called the For You. Is it the For You page?
The For You page is actually where they recommend content.
That's where most people are spending their time.
When you open up TikTok, it opens up at the For You page. And that's another reason how you're able to get in front of people, so easily that have never seen you before.
I know in the limited time that I've spent on TikTok, I always find myself going to that For You page because the algorithm is so good and it just feeds you such interesting content. It's so good at feeding you that interesting content that it's like, that's where most people end up spending their time, I think. I would probably agree. So why don't we talk about the features? I just want to break down some of the main features in TikTok, and then I want to talk about the benefits of each of those features. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say what the feature is, and then we're going to talk about the benefit, and we're going to go through a couple different features. I think I have 7 features on here. So the first one is just regular posting. So a TikTok post. This is the most common feature, or what most people use. And usually, I say usually because it's not always a short form video, but usually it's a short form video content
But more recently, people are sharing carousels, even photos with trending audios or music overlaying the content. So there's actually a number of ways to post now. Before, it was kind of video was kind of your only option, but they're kind of expanding their horizons now. And maybe that'll get more people to post to their page. I don't know. It doesn't really seem to have done it yet. It just seems like now content creators are starting to post carousels and kind of still images with the CapCut templates, which are really popular, which I mentioned before. And the benefit of posting is this is very good for maximizing reach and gaining new followers, because every time you post, you have a chance of going on the For You page for someone who has never seen your content before. And if you do a really good job of niching down with your brand, there's a really good chance that you are going to get on the For You page of someone who is in that niche. The other thing is that this is probably the platform with the best chance of going viral and seeing kind of that rapid growth. I don't know any other ones. And this is probably because TikTok is not quite at the maturity level of a platform like Facebook or Instagram. They've been around a lot longer. They have a lot more users. They have a lot more people creating content. And so TikTok being kind of a younger, really, really fast growing platform where, like we mentioned earlier, content is kind of put on a level playing field, whether you're a tiny brand new brand or whether you're a huge brand, this just gives you a better chance of going viral. Now, just a pro tip that I learned this lesson the hard way, a pro tip that I want to give in terms of posting. I strongly recommend resisting the urge to post random content. Instead, I recommend having a very specific content strategy that attracts your ideal customer and just focus on content for that ideal customer. The reason I say this is because if you post random content and it goes viral, TikTok is going to throw that on the For You page for a whole bunch of people, and you are going to get this super random assortment of followers. And because it's random, TikTok is going to really struggle to know who to optimize this content for. So I actually learned this the hard way. When I got my brand on TikTok, I committed to doing a 30-day TikTok challenge. And we actually went viral really fast. We got over 300,000 views on one of our very first posts. It was probably like our fourth or fifth post, something like that.
Jeez.
However, we did like a trending audio with someone wearing a hoodie from our brand. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that it was an advertisement for the hoodie. And they just thought it was a really, really funny post. So we got all these random people, which were the polar opposite of our ideal customer. And the account really struggled for a long time after that, because all of a sudden, TikTok had no clue who we were trying to target. Yeah. And it was a lesson learned. And you hear this from some other brands as well. They're like going viral on TikTok was one of the worst things that ever happened to my brand on TikTok. And it's funny because I've kind of got a case study here. So that was my brand. And then I created another TikTok around the same time for my coaching business. And I also did a 30-day challenge, but I promised myself I was going to be really dialed in. All I was going to talk about was print on demand, starting a t-shirt and apparel brand. And even though it was a lot slower to go viral, and I don't even know if I've ever gone, I've got more than 300,000 views on certain videos, but like it took a while to get there. It took a lot longer to get there. However, the people that were following me were totally my ideal client. And it was just so much better optimized, and it was a total game changer for my business. So I just want to kind of encourage people not to focus on going viral. Focus on creating a curated community for your ideal target audience. And even if it's smaller, it can be way more valuable because these are all your ideal audience versus totally random people. And if those totally random people don't like your other content, which in a lot of cases they don't, they just like one post and then they start following you, TikTok is going to look at that as you're putting out poor quality content if they push it to those people, to your audience, and they don't engage. And that's actually going to work against you. And you're going to be stuck at that like 200, 300, 400 views per video.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson the hard way, man. And it was just so interesting having two accounts and kind of going two different routes. My brand, all I cared about at the beginning was going viral because I was pretty new to TikTok. I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was a huge mistake. And then my other one, I learned from that mistake and said, okay, I don't care about going viral. All I care about is getting in front of my ideal target audience, and every video I'm going to make super niche down. And that ended up being very valuable. So just a little word of caution for anyone that is posting on TikTok, because I know a lot of people, when they post to social media for their brand, they just want to go viral. They're like, how do I go viral? How do I go viral? But you like be strategic about going viral. And with TikTok, just like with Instagram, keep it very dialed into your niche.
We talked about this before on the podcast, but it's just kind of the old saying or whatever that, it's much better to have a small group of super targeted, followers, customers, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to just having this large group of like randos, even thinking about, the accounts that would buy followers and those kind of things, like they don't do anything. It's like pointless. Right. Like it's pointless because they're not engaging. They're not real. They're not going to buy from you. Like you would much rather have even 100 subscribers or followers on TikTok or whatever that are super dialed into your content. Yeah. Love what you do, love your products. They're like, yes, than have, 10,000 followers that are like random, just they liked a video, they're not interested in your products or your content. You just got them on some viral piece of content. Like those aren't going to bring any value, and it's just a vanity metric, and it's just not worth it. So
it's going to work against you.
It's going to work against you.
And it's quality over quantity. And it's funny because this kind of goes for everywhere where you're collecting people: email lists, SMS lists, Instagram, TikTok. Quality always trumps quantity. Who cares if you have 100,000 followers? If none of them care about your brand or what you do, it's not going to translate into any sales. If you have 1,000 true fans following you on TikTok, that's going to be way more valuable.
Yes.
And I could not agree more. So next feature in TikTok is stories. So what is stories in TikTok? It's slightly different than Instagram stories. So TikTok stories allow you to share your daily life with your followers in a more authentic and intimate manner, with content that disappears after 24 hours from the time of posting. So it is kind of similar to Instagram stories, and it kind of has similar benefits as well. So the benefits include maximizing your reach within your audience. So stories are mainly shared with your own community, kind of like in Instagram. And I think that's really the main purpose of it. That's really the main benefit of stories, is just it's just good for engaging with your audience in a kind of a more intimate setting almost. So creating community, creating deeper engagement between your audience, and then promoting products, new arrivals, and promotions. This is also another great place to do that. So in Instagram, I love selling in the stories. And for TikTok, same thing. You can go ahead.
Well, just going to ask you a question. Is the TikTok stories, is that more, I think you already said it, but that's more focused on people that follow you. Is that right?
Yes.
That's great. That's really amazing, because that's where you're going to build that community, as you've said, that's where you're really going to warm up the people that are following you, that found you on the For You page, that TikTok algorithm recommended out. This is how you can create community. This is how you can warm them up to your products, how you can actually sell a little bit more. And these are going to be the hottest group of potential customers, the warmest audience, if you will.
Yep. And another thing that I really like about that is with TikTok, when you open up the app, you are taken to the For You page. And when you're posting content, a lot of the times your followers might never see that content. It's not like Instagram where you pull up and usually you see people you're following, you see their content first, right? You're being taken to the For You page. So what's nice about this is this actually keeps you top of mind with your actual community, like the people that are actually following you. And it can be kind of hard to get in front of them when you're just doing regular posts because they're seeing a whole bunch of other content on the For You page.
And one more funny thing is I feel like a lot of people always talk about how basically Instagram copies everything. You know, they copy all these features and all this thing. They came up with Reels after TikToks. But did TikTok copy this from Instagram?
Oh, totally. Dude, TikTok is doing the same thing as Instagram, man. Instagram copies so many features that they see popular on other, you think of, but like, here we go. Stories were actually started, as far as I know, on Snapchat. And Instagram stole that from
kind of the same thing.
And then TikTok stole stories.
That's true. Yeah. I feel like Instagram made it good. Snapchat was like, but you're right though. You're right.
It's funny, man. Like the social media platforms, they'll come out with a cool feature like filters. Remember Snapchat filters?
Oh,
and
definitely
then you look at TikTok and TikTok has tons of filters too. Like everyone's just kind of copying. It seems like
I used to go on Snapchat just because the filters were so good that I would, because I would just have because my kids love to do it. Like I would try to do it on Instagram, but the filters were just horrible. Like when they first came out. But we could go on Snapchat and my kids would love to like do the funny faces and all the different little filters. But anyways.
Oh, dude, that crying filter, man. Do you remember the crying filter where it makes you look like you're crying and you're just talking? Oh, it's so funny.
The Snapchat ones were so good. I mean, they probably still are. I just haven't used Snapchat in forever.
Yeah. No, my wife took a video of me on Snapchat just to use the crying filter and it was hilarious. I still have it and we just laugh about it so much.
That's funny.
But really what happens, it seems like, is each social media platform comes out with a cool feature and then the other platform is like, oh, we need that feature too, so that people don't have a reason to go over to Snapchat to use their filters, something like that. Or Instagram's like, people don't have a reason to go over to TikTok because now we've got Reels. And it's just funny, man. It's funny how it works. But yeah, stories are pretty similar across all three platforms. Like, yes, they're a little bit different, but kind of same idea.
Sure.
The third one is lives. So TikTok lives. And this is also kind of similar to Instagram live. It's very similar to Instagram live. So you can start a live broadcast to connect with your followers in real time. And there's a lot of benefits to this. It's good for connecting with your audience. It's good for building relationships. It's good for building community. And it's good for making sales. So you can go live and you can do live selling just like people do on Instagram. And I've seen people do it. So really similar to Instagram.
I'm not a huge TikTok user. I think we know this by now. You are, but answer me this: when I'm on TikTok though, or I guess the most recently, which has been a few months, and I was really on there a lot. It would just feed live broadcasts into the For You page. Does it still do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The algorithm weird. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing.
It's definitely a good thing. It was kind of weird because you'd be scrolling through the videos and you get some random person doing something weird. What is this? But I was going to mention that even with a live broadcast, what that means is that it will push that out to new people because it's about like every 5, 6, 7 posts, it would just feed me a live stream, instead of a video. And if you can be engaging on that live stream, you could suck somebody in for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what would happen is usually I would get a live stream and it would just be weird. And I'd be like, what is this? I'm scroll past it.
Yeah.
But every once in a while there'd be an interesting one. And I was kind of sucked in for 5-10 minutes and you're just watching that live stream.
Yeah.
So that's actually really different from Instagram because on Instagram, I believe you're only going to see live streams from people you follow and they're only going to pop up right there in your stories. In the stories feed was where the live stream will pop up. So I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any way on Instagram that you can get to a live stream from any other page other than going to somebody's profile or looking in the stories section. So on TikTok, I mean, your live stream could go viral just like a video goes viral, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, live stream is mainly shown to your followers.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, I went live, my first TikTok live. Oh man, it was so cringy. But I went on TikTok, I hit 1,000 followers, and I was like, I'm just gonna go live. I didn't announce it or anything. I literally just opened up my phone, I opened up TikTok. It was like taking messy and perfect action. I was so nervous, I was so awkward, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this. And I opened it up, and all of a sudden, like all these people started following. And I think at the peak, I had like 50 people on listening to me talk. And I like, it was wild. Like it just, as soon as your kind of followers hop on TikTok, they see you're live, they jump on, and people start asking questions. And we actually had like good, engaging conversations. I was probably on there for like 20 to 30 minutes. But
Dang.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no expectations, but TikTok was pushing it. And I think they still are really pushing lives. Like all these platforms like to push their newer features because they want early adopters. They want people to adopt those features. And you think about something like a live, like if you're following someone that you're really into, someone that you really like, or you really respect them, or you really love their brand, and they're on live, they might keep you on the platform for an hour. TikTok's gonna love that. TikTok's gonna absolutely love it. Like you think about it, most times on TikTok, people are watching a TikTok for like 5 seconds and it's like swipe, 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 swipe. Whereas lives, people stop, they're engaging, they're interacting, and they could be on there for 30 minutes to an hour. There's this one woman, oh, I forget her name, but she is massive on TikTok, and she does tumblers. Like she literally just makes tumblers. And she'll be on there, like I swear, every time I go on TikTok, she's going live, and she'll have like 100,000 people that are literally like on that live, engaging, interacting, asking questions, and she's just crushing it. It's so surprising. I'm like, man, like who are these people that are on here watching this person make a tumbler? But then I'm like, well, wait a second. If I really want to learn how to make tumblers, I would probably be here watching her videos as well. And you can ask her questions in real time. So she's really good at connecting with her community. And dude, I swear she's on there like 24/7. Every time I go on there, she's live.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have built the backbone of their business off of TikTok lives. And a lot of the really successful brands, they are live on there quite regularly.
Yeah.
So, all right, next, let's talk about the next feature, which is direct messaging. So direct messaging on TikTok allows you to instantly connect with your friends and community on TikTok. And messaging allows you to send and receive messages and TikTok videos directly on TikTok. So it's very much like DMing on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah. And the benefits of this are pretty similar as well. Connecting with customers and potential influencers, creating community, building relationships, and making sales. So just like a lot of the sales are made in the DMs on Instagram, a lot of the sales are made on the DMs in TikTok, because a lot of people will be asking similar questions like, oh, how does the sizing fit? What size do you recommend for me? Do you have this in different colors? Things like that. So there's not really much different when it comes to DMs aside from TikTok and Instagram.
Do you think that DMs on TikTok are utilized as much as they are on like Instagram or Facebook?
So I do not. And the reason being is TikTok is a little bit weird in this way, but currently, and I don't think it was always like this, but currently, in order for someone who's following you to DM you, you have to be following them as well.
Okay. Is that you said that it's like that currently, or you're not sure?
It's like that currently.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's weird because I heard that it didn't used to always be like that. I heard that it used to be like DMing on Instagram, and a lot of content creators said that that's how they built their business on TikTok is by talking to people in the DMs. And it was a huge kind of, I don't know what to call it. It was a huge downer when TikTok came out with this kind of feature. I still am not able to. People still can't DM me on TikTok unless I'm following them back. So sometimes people will comment on my TikToks and be like, hey, can you follow me so we can DM? And it's just a weird, like,
that is a really odd thing for brands.
It's so odd. I don't like it at all, man. Like I would love for them to go to, just like DMing on Instagram where anyone can DM you. And I did hear that they were reintroducing that. And I've heard content creators say that now they're allowed to do that again. But
Maybe
every
it's like a
time
beta
the
thing or
app
something.
gets an update, I update the app and then I go straight to like my settings and I look to see if I can update that. And it still says like either no one can DM you or you have to follow them for them to DM you. It's
just
really
like-
weird. I don't know the logic behind it.
If somebody wants to ask you a private question, you know, if they want to ask you about something, you know, like they can only do it in the comments. They can't DM you, or they have to comment and ask you to follow them.
It's weird, man.
Well, I'm mainly just like, I'm also just thinking about like big accounts, like, you know, if you have even a small amount of followers, but especially people that have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, it's like, there's no DMing happening. Like you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that comment that's like, follow me so I can DM you. I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing.
It's weird. It's weird. And you know what else I get? I get people DMing me on Instagram. This has happened so many times where people DM me on Instagram and be like, hey, I saw you on TikTok. I just want to ask you this. And I'm like, how inconvenient for them to have to go to another platform and find me and then ask me questions. I don't like that. I want
TikTok shouldn't like that. They don't want people to leave.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand their logic behind it. Maybe it's because they want everything happening in the comments, so it looks like there's more interaction taking place. Like that's just kind of what comes to mind.
Maybe,
I could be totally wrong, but I don't think it's a good user experience. And I would love TikTok, if you're listening, which you're probably not, I would love if you just rolled that out to everybody where people can just DM us, because it's going to keep more people in your platform. They're not going to be going to Instagram to DM us. So
for sure.
That definitely needs to be changed. I hope they roll it out to everyone and that it never goes back to what it is now.
Yeah.
So, all right, next, let's talk about TikTok Shop. So TikTok Shop, this enables merchants and creators to showcase and sell products for the TikTok community to discover and purchase directly through the TikTok app. So this is actually quite similar to Facebook and Instagram shops, where you can include your products and you can feature your products, and then people can purchase them all within the app without ever being redirected off the platform to their website. I totally understand, and it totally makes sense why every social media platform would want this, because one, it keeps people in the app, which is really their goal, is to keep people in their app for as long as possible. And the other thing, it creates a pretty seamless experience, because a lot of people they don't want to leave the app. A lot of people actually like to just be able to see the product, tap this item, and then just purchase it straight from TikTok. So I do think it's really cool. They recently rolled it out. So it's actually quite a new feature. And this is kind of cool in terms of the benefits. Shop actually provides 3 different ways to shop. So different than ads and most comparable to IG shops. I would say that the 3 ways are live shopping, shoppable videos, and product showcase. So let me kind of break down each of these. And just to clarify what I said a minute ago, it's different than paid ads. So I'm not talking about running paid ads here. And I would say that this is the most comparable to Instagram shops. So the 3 ways to shop are live shopping, and that allows you to shop directly from a live by tapping the pinned products or browsing the shopping basket icon. So this is really cool. Now you can go live and you can have your products right there for people to buy, all without ever leaving the app. It just gives you one more reason to go live and creates a more seamless experience. The second way is shoppable videos. So this allows people to shop directly from a shoppable in-feed video just by tapping the product link and basket icon. Again, making it super easy, super convenient. And like I always say, you always want to make it as easy as possible for the customer to buy. So this is great for that. And then the third way to shop is product showcase. So people can shop directly from a brand or a creator account and get access to products, again, all within the app.
Super
this
cool,
is amazing.
Dude. No, it's great. Yeah, I mean, you've seen how great it's been on Instagram so far and Facebook and everything. So to have this on TikTok is really cool. And I think, this is just a guess, but is this feature rolled out to everybody? Is this something that most people can take advantage of? Well, most brands, I guess, can take advantage of, or we don't know.
So I don't know if it's yet rolled out to everyone.
Okay.
So it actually started in different countries. It was so surprising. The US was not, as far as I can remember, the US was not the first one. It was rolled out to other countries, and then they rolled it out to the US pretty recently. And a lot of times, for some reason, TikTok will roll out things systematically. They won't just overnight roll it out to everyone. So I don't know for sure if it's rolled out to everyone. However, I expect that very soon, because it's, they launched it just a bit ago. I expect that pretty soon it will be rolled out to everyone.
What I was going to say is my prediction is that this would be even more effective than Instagram Shops, because my guess would be, because like some of the stats we showed or we talked about and what we've been mentioning is how good TikTok is at getting engagement and, holding customers' attention or engage people's attention to their platform, keeping people on the platform. I'm just imagining, watching a TikTok video and the products kind of popping up very smoothly and, prompting you to click on those products. Just the way that the app is laid out and the way that they get you to engage, like I can see this just absolutely being like just crushing it, getting a lot of sales for people. So I could see it being much more effective than even Instagram Shops is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I would probably agree with that. And I'm pretty sure that TikTok has a younger average demographic than somewhere like Instagram.
Oh, for sure,
and I imagine that these younger people, I'm kind of talking about people, not just teens, I'm talking about people like 20s, 30s, that a lot of them are very comfortable with purchasing online. And whereas if you have an older demographic, generally they're a little bit more wary because that's not always been available to them. It's something newer,
what's interesting is that, this is just kind of a separate point, but what's interesting is that, people spend so much time on these platforms. I'm talking about collectively social media platforms, that they have a lot more trust for the platform than they do your brand. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So what I mean by that is if somebody were to click on something, go to your website, and your website's not the greatest website, which a lot of smaller brands, you don't have the best website, you may actually deter people from buying. There may be things there where they maybe you don't build the trust, you don't have the reviews or whatever the case may be. You might turn some people off, but keeping them on the platform because they have trust built with that platform, like a TikTok or an Instagram, they're probably more comfortable putting in their credit card into Facebook or Instagram or TikTok than they are to your website as a smaller brand. You know what I mean? And
that's such a good point.
It's just because they've spent literally probably thousands of hours on these platforms. And so it's like giving my credit card to an Instagram. I feel much more comfortable with that than I would a small website that could be spam or whatever, like it's just I don't know, interesting to think about.
No, that's a really, really good point, because if you go on Instagram and set up your shop, if you go on TikTok and set up your shop, you can look like a lot of other shops, a lot bigger than you on there. And there's a lot of functionality that isn't available on these shop platforms versus on your website. And so some websites, you go on there and they're so like modern, they're so cool. They have all these super cool features. They're really good at building trust. They have all these things. But on the platform, it almost looks like a more even playing field. Like when you look at brands' catalogs, you can have a brand that maybe doesn't even have a website, and they're
lots of them don't, by the way. Lots of them. Like there are lots of people that sell exclusively on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. That's their avenue, and they just because they maybe they don't feel techie, like they're just like, I can't build a website, even though we know it can be a lot simpler than people think.
Yes, agreed.
But a lot, there are brands and people that are like, I just never got around to creating that website. I sell exclusively on social media. This is huge.
Yeah, a lot of content creators. I mean, that's their primary acquisition channel. That's where they spend all their time, and a lot of them just kind of throw things up on shop and don't even worry about the website. I mean, eventually, if they're having success, they should come out of the website so they can do cross sells and upsells and do all these other things.
Yes.
So obviously we're really big advocates for creating them, and they're way easier than people think. You do not have to be techie to create a website,
No.
but yeah, these just give people another kind of channel. These just create another channel for sellers. And I encourage people to try out these features. So they're free right now. Instagram Shops is free, TikTok Shop is free. Like, why not put your products up there for sale? And if you go viral on TikTok and you're tagging your products, there's a good chance that you're gonna get a lot of people buying them through TikTok Shop. So the last feature that I want to talk about, this is, I believe, aside from Shop, I think this is the newest feature. I think Shop is the newest feature that they rolled out, but this one is called TikTok Now. And you want to talk about ripping off features? Dude, let me tell you, this is a carbon copy of the Be Real app. So I don't know if you've heard it. Have you heard of Be Real, Kerry?
Yes.
Okay. So
I've not used it.
Me neither, actually. I have not used it either, but
I know it was gaining steam for a while. I don't know if it's still growing or what.
So I think there was a time not too long ago where it was like the #1 app in the Apple App Store, and a lot of people were downloading it. But honestly, man, I just don't see a case for this for businesses. And I mean, I'm sure there's businesses that are having a lot of success on it. I don't know. I don't
If you're
know
a business, it's like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like,
maybe.
I don't know. I can't think of a good reason to have it for my brand. Maybe there are some brands using it having success, but it's really not. I feel like it wasn't really designed for brands. It was designed as a more intimate kind of social media platform between friends. And it was really, really popular for a while. And I think it's really lost a lot of steam lately. But essentially, in case anyone doesn't know, I'll explain what TikTok Now is, but this is essentially the same as Be Real. So TikTok Now invites you and your friends to capture what you're doing in the moment. So you receive a daily prompt at the same time as your friends to capture a 10-second video of a static photo and share it with your friends. And I have seen content creators using this in TikTok. I haven't yet seen brands on TikTok using this. I'm sure some do. I'm sure maybe lots do. I don't know. But really, it's just a carbon copy of the Be Real app. And the main benefit is that it allows you to share your most authentic moments with your community by posting this daily video or photo at the exact same time as your friends. So I was looking it up because it's probably my least favorite. It's probably my least favorite feature for brands, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Kerry.
No, I mean, I don't know. I was just looking it up in the App Store. I was curious, kind of, what's going on with it. So, it's number 9 in social networking right now. In the app.
Impressive.
Well, for some reason, TikTok is not on here. Is TikTok in a different category? I was just like trying to figure out.
On the Apple App Store?
Yeah, Apple App Store. Like, it's got to be in a different. Let me click on it real quick. Let's see. Okay, number 2. Okay, TikTok is number 2 in entertainment. That's really weird because it's like it's in entertainment, but it's HBO is number 1, Peacock is number 3, Netflix is number 4. Why is it in there? That doesn't even make any sense. So I'm not sure about TikTok. What is Instagram's in photo and video. So Instagram's not even in social networking. That is really weird, isn't it?
I would be shocked if TikTok wasn't still one of the top downloaded apps right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I'd
be really surprised.
Well, no, I was just curious. I was curious where Be Real ranked.
Oh, you're looking for Be Real.
I was curious where Be Real ranked in relation to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Right.
But they're all in different categories, which is odd. But anyways, in the social networking category, it's number 9. Ahead of it, WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, Messenger, Life 360, Discord, Google Meet, Text Now, and then Be Real. So a bunch of those I haven't even heard of. I don't know. Well, that doesn't help us.
The thing about Be Real is that was kind of their thing. That's the only thing. differentiator. And then TikTok came out with the exact same feature that people could use without having to go to another app and without having to leave the TikTok app. And I feel like that kind of like stole the thunder of the Be Real app. And it's kind of what these platforms do, you know? So
the idea of it, I think you kind of explained it, but the idea of it is like, what are you doing right this second? Like you don't have time to get ready. You don't have time to like make yourself look good. It pops up a prompt or whatever and says like, hey, so-and-so's requesting your video or photo or whatever. You got to snap it right now. So no matter what you're doing. Right. So it's like an interesting concept, but it's also kind of weird. I don't know how many people, I mean, obviously it gained some steam, but I don't know how many people are into that. I'm not into that.
No,
not my thing. And I don't know how that would benefit a business. I don't necessarily see a use case for it yet, but maybe.
Yeah.
If you have
the only thing I can think of is someone's like, oh, you know, when I'm working on my business, like, and it comes up, I take a snapshot of me designing a new design or me wearing one of my shirts or something like that. But I don't know. You can do all this stuff on social media already. It doesn't need to be in the moment, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you're, from what I understand, I know very, very little about the Be Real app. From what I understand about the Be Real app, it was a little bit more like one-to-one, if that makes sense. Like you know, like me and you, personal. Which I don't want you to ever do this to me on Be Real, but if me and you were like sending,
dude, let's join Be Real and send each other in the moment shots, just in our day-to-day lives.
I'm out on that. It's like, I'm out. But from what I understand of the Be Real is maybe more like a one-to-one type thing like that. But like if you could do it to a large group of people, so like for instance, let's just say like your favorite celebrity, just random celebrity. Let's say Brad Pitt. You love Brad Pitt, right? And you want to see what Brad Pitt's doing every day at 3 p.m. Like that's kind of cool, right? Like he could just send a Be Real, a TikTok now, whatever, to millions of people each day at 3 p.m.
Well, I think for TikTok now you can. I think TikTok now it tells you when to post and then you post and then all of your followers, they see that you posted something to TikTok now. So you can go and be like, cool. Oh. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, I'm sure there's ways that you can use it for your brand. It just seems kind of like the least brand forward, if that makes sense. The least brand forward feature. And that's why Be Real, I don't really think there's a strong case right now to be on it as a brand. And I could be completely wrong, but I've kind of researched it a little bit and I'm like, no, I'm not going to put my brand on this. I'm happy with TikTok.
There's going to be somebody listening to this right now that's like, I'm crushing it with TikTok now and Be Real.
With Be Real.
You guys are idiots.
If you're crushing with Be Real, please comment on the YouTube video. I would love to meet someone who's actually seen success for their brand on the Be Real app. And I hope people are seeing success on the Be Real app. I want people
TikTok now.
I want people to win everywhere, man. That is what I want for people. That's what we want for people. Win
It's our new slogan, actually. Win everywhere.
Yeah. But so that's it for kind of the main TikTok features that we wanted to talk about in this episode. But just before we leave, I just want to share a couple TikTok ideas for print-on-demand businesses. So these are 3 really cool ideas that if you're on TikTok already, I encourage you to try these out. So I don't know if you've seen this, Kerry, before, but there's this really popular kind of trend. It's actually been happening for quite a while, probably years. And you use that automated voice, you know, the text to voice, and it says, things TikTok made me buy. And so what you do is you see a lot of brands and they have this, they'll show someone wearing their product and it'll be like, things TikTok made me buy. And then it'll show them wearing like one of your shirts. And then you can do a transition, or you can have someone do a transition and it can go through multiple of your products. So that's one really popular thing for brands that I've been seeing. Another one kind of going on that same vein is transitions. So one thing that's really popular on TikTok is transitions, in case like anyone who's been on TikTok knows that they're popular. But some of the ones that I've seen for brands are ones, for example, when someone's wearing an outfit from their brand and then they jump up and then when they land, they're in like a new outfit. Have you seen that before?
Yep.
Yeah. And you can go through like 4 or 5 outfits. Like, let's say you're selling hoodies. You can just like jump and you got a new hoodie. Then you jump again, you got a new hoodie. And it looks pretty cool. And it keeps kind of people's attention. I feel like transitions keep people's attention well. So that's another cool thing that you can try out. And then another one is just mouthing trending audios. And this is where I've seen some people really, really freaking go viral, man. Like I have had some friends who they would mouth an audio that was really relevant to the item that they're wearing. A lot of times it's like a shirt, maybe it's a coffee mug, something like that. And they would mouth usually a funny audio. It's not always funny, but humorous and relatable. And a lot of times they'll be wearing a shirt, and man, if that goes viral, that can just translate into so many sales. And what I've even seen people do is actually take those viral trending audio, the mouthing the trending audio wearing their product. I've seen them take them over to Facebook and Instagram ads and run ads with a ton of success. So if you are on TikTok and you do have a post go viral, try turning it into an ad and see how that performs. I've seen some people absolutely crush it with this strategy.
It's almost like test your ads before you make them into ads. Just make pieces of content, see which one gets the most traction, then turn it into an ad.
Yeah, if it goes viral on TikTok, there's a good chance it's going to perform well on Instagram as well.
And it's cool because you've
done a good job of niching down, then you can get in front of your niche with Facebook and Instagram ads too. It's
cool because you don't need followers to do that. Like because of what we talked about, the algorithm will push it out. You can test it. I got a tip for everybody with TikTok. Here's my tip. Don't be boring. You cannot be boring on TikTok. Yeah. Like, I mean, a reason I say that is because like I just think like especially when I think about like advertising, you're trying to advertise a product. On Instagram, Facebook, sometimes you'll see like a still image that could go like, it's not very interesting, but there's other elements and, different things that can make it kind of do well especially as an ad. But on TikTok, man, like the ad, especially the ads you get, like they have to be, usually they're positioned as a like viral TikTok. So like kind of like what you just said is like, you'll get an ad, but it'll suck you in because it's like a viral video. It doesn't look like an ad. If that makes sense. It looks like something else in your feed. And so I'm not a huge TikTok user currently, but I will say like, I think one of the reasons I haven't had like the most success with TikTok is because I'm kind of boring. Like I'm not the most like crazy dancer or whatever. And you don't have to dance to be on TikTok. I don't mean like that, but I'm just, I'm not that interesting. Like I'm just boring. So I just think to have a lot of success on TikTok, like, you got to have a lot of energy. Do your best not to be boring. Yeah, you got to grab attention quickly. Those first, like, I think it's, what is it, like 1.5 or 2 seconds?
1 to 3 seconds, I think.
1 to 3 seconds.
Something like that.
Have to grab their attention.
You got to have a really good hook. Yeah, there's a lot of strategy behind it and behind keeping people's attention, because you're right. Like if you're not catchy right out of the gate, someone's just going to swipe up. TikTok makes it really easy. Just boom, swipe up.
People are literally
on to the next one.
Going like this.
Yep. Yeah, there is actually so much strategy to creating TikToks, and dude, oh man, that is a masterclass right there. That's a jam-packed masterclass. But there's two more things that I want to kind of share before we wrap this up. Two more kind of tips. First tip is a do not, kind of like you just shared, Kerry. And this is kind of the same for Instagram as well. For TikTok, please do not just post your products, especially just mock-ups.
Oh, good one.
Man, like it's the same with Instagram. Give people a reason to follow you, offer them some kind of value. Like think about yourself. How many brands do you follow where all they post is mock-ups of their products? Probably none. And if you do, they're probably really big brands like that are, that you're really passionate about, maybe like Patagonia, something like that. But Patagonia, even they post cool content. I'm just saying, like, I have people reach out to me and they're like, hey, why do you think my TikTok channel is not performing well? And I look at it and it's literally just posts of like t-shirts on white backgrounds. And I'm like, because there's no reason for people to follow you, even if they're passionate about that niche. There's no value here. And it just doesn't translate well on TikTok, and it doesn't translate well on Instagram either. No platform. You always want to lead with value. Find a way to offer value and give people a reason to follow you. And the second pro tip that I want to say is, if you are creating Instagram Reels, why not repurpose those Reels onto TikTok and even YouTube Shorts. So you know me, I'm very big on having a primary acquisition channel, choosing one social media platform to be your bread and butter, to become an expert in, and to completely dominate. And when you're doing that, you don't want to have to spread yourself thin across all these platforms, creating all this original content. So kind of the lazy hack, I guess you could say, is if you're creating short form video content on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts, you can literally also post that. You can repurpose it for these other platforms. And that's what I do. My TikTok is where my original coaching content starts in most cases. And then I just repurpose it onto Instagram. So it's just a way that you get kind of like a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1, depending on how many platforms you're putting it on. And you can still make your main focus the primary acquisition channel, which is whatever you choose, whether that's Instagram or TikTok or whatever channel that is. So that's it. That's kind of all I got for this one. Kerry, do you have any other final thoughts?
No, man. What an amazing opportunity there is on TikTok. I mean, definitely more brands should be taking advantage of it. Like I hope that this episode, I think we both hope this episode inspires you to get out there and put some stuff on TikTok, test some stuff out, get out there and see what happens. Cause you'll probably be shocked, at how much engagement or views and different things that you're getting. It's awesome.
And you know what? There's actually one more thing that I thought about. For some reason, Kerry, every time you talk, I think of another thing. So I just want to share one final thing. I think a lot of people's fear of going on TikTok is they're not comfortable in front of the camera. They're not comfortable showing their face. And I just want to let you know, you do not need to get in front of the camera to go on TikTok. If you're comfortable, awesome. Very cool. It's maybe going to be easier for you to create more content.
I would encourage you to
It was so awkward when I started making TikToks. It's so cringy looking at them. It was so uncomfortable, but the more you do it, just like anything, you improve over time and the more comfortable and confident you get. But if you are not at that level yet where you're comfortable with it, what I recommend is you can still create a TikTok and you can create TikToks without you in them, without your face in them. Yeah. For example, you can do a still image of, I don't know, like one of your products, and then you can have a CapCut template of someone saying something that's relevant to that product. That's just one of many ways you can do it. You can offer value through lists. So let's say you're in the hiking niche and you want to share the top 5 hikes in America or the top 5 national parks. You can turn that into a TikTok and you can just show an image of a park and then have this text overlay. So there's so many ways to still create TikToks without having to actually get in front of the camera and put yourself out there. So I just want to let you guys know, if you're uncomfortable with the camera, don't let that excuse hold you back. There's definitely ways that you can do it without getting your face on there. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. This was a lot of fun, Kerry. I hope you guys found this super valuable, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon.
See ya. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. If you enjoyed it and got value from it, please leave us an honest review on whatever platform you are listening or watching from. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.